There isn't a corner of the earth that you can go to and not hear about this dessert. So sweet and oh so cheesy. Today on Dine Discover, we are making none other than kunafa. And what is kunafa, you might ask? Well, let's think of loads of shredded phyllo cut up into tiny pieces, super crispy, with loads of oozy cheese through the middle, and then of course drenched in none other than syrup, which is what we're going to begin with right now.
Add in equal amounts of sugar to water into your saucepan. Then add in a pinch of saffron and a squeeze of fresh lemon.
Place your sugar on a high heat, wait for those bubbles to appear, and then whack the temperature right down and leave it for exactly 10 minutes to do its thing. Don't touch it, don't do anything, just crack on with the cream. So while I said this kunafa was just full of oozing cheese, I also like to add in a creamy element. Usually across the region you'll find some people use cream, some use just cheese, but I want both and it's so much better. So I start with some thick double cream. I follow that along with some cardamom. Usually in the Levantine region they go for rose water or rose blossom, but I like the idea of having the saffron and the syrup, the cardamom and my cream, and just bringing those nice flavors together.
Mix that with some fine semolina and a tablespoon of corn flour.
Just turn on your heat and then start to give it a good whisk just to make sure that the corn flour breaks down and dissolves so we don't have any lumps in it. And then all we're waiting to do is for it to kind of thicken up and start bubbling, and then it'll be ready to use. While our syrup is going and our cream is doing its thing, we can actually get started on prepping the kunafa. We have our shredded phyllo, but it's a bit too hard to work like this, so just break it all up in your hand, kind of like 1-inch pieces, nothing exact. So I have some warm ghee. You can use clarified butter, but I much prefer ghee. I find it a lot less heavier and it just soaks in a lot better. Just want to pour it on. So my ghee is soaking through that dough, and you just want to massage it in and make sure every part of this shredded dough is completely soaked in that ghee. This will be crucial for giving you that really nice golden crunch. Then take your tray that you're going to be using for your kunafa, and we just want to start layering it all in. As soon as you've patched up the bottom, just kind of patch up the sides. We don't want anything dripping out when we pull it out. Have a nice layer in there, and then we can get adding in our cheeses and cream. So now this is the fun part, because we've got so many cheeses to work with. Traditionally in Palestine they use Nabulsi cheese or Akawi cheese, but we can't really work with that. It's really hard to find. If you can get it, please go ahead. So I'm mixing up with some shredded mozzarella, and you want the hard type of mozzarella, not the fresh one. If you have the fresh one, all of that water is just going to come out in your kunafa, and we won't have a nice crunchy base. And then I like to follow that with a mixture of halloumi and ricotta. So basically, the halloumi acts similar to how the Akawi cheese and Nabulsi cheese act, in the sense that they are very briny-based cheeses, and so is halloumi. So we're kind of going to get that salty feel, but I have pre-soaked these.
Then add another layer of your mozzarella cheese. And finally, cover it with the rest of your ghee-soaked phyllo.
And now I'm going to put my kunafa in a preheated oven at 200 degrees for half an hour. So I've just prepared all of my decorations. I'll be using pistachios, rose petals, and some dried roses as well as having my cold syrup that we made earlier. And now I'm ready to take my kunafa out of the oven. I like to pour my syrup now and also a second time over. We don't need too much, as we can go again after, but this just allows it to seep through before we flip it.
Now you can grab your serving plate and flip the kunafa. Finish it off with more syrup, add your decorations, and your kunafa is ready to serve.
And there you have it. One beautiful, golden, perfect, crunchy kunafa. And going in for that most important cut. Super soft. And there you have it, guys. One cheesy, pully, perfect kunafa. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to share with your friends and family, like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see how good your cheese pull is.